Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Nor Tiger, a small business owner, and today I'm setting up my bullet journal for May. As usual, I sketched up the setup beforehand, and now I used my eraser to soften the lines and make them more invisible so that I could still see where I would use my pens to make the colorful spread I intended, but still not see the pencil lines. My first spread is, as usual, the monthly spread. Here I set May, which is written with an I instead of a Y in Norwegian. I set up my calendar and content calendar, and also I made room for my to-do list, both private and for my small business. The last thing I did was setting up my habit tracker for my small business. And as you can see, I tried to keep the colors in a certain order so that it would look colorful, but at the same time it would have a system so I didn't have two colors that looked too alike next to each other. And I also used this while writing out the numbers of the day for the habit tracker. I'm sorry if I stumble a bit in my words and might not seem as fluid as it did before. I'm trying to just speak without a script and see if that makes it more organic and feel more natural to me. But since English isn't my native language and I haven't really used it that much in the last years, I feel a bit rusty, but I hope it'll come along. When the monthly spread was done, I went over to my expenses spread. Here I have a habit tracker for my private life, as well as my private expenses on the left side. On the right side, I have my small business expenses. On this page, I use the same technique, or whatever you want to call it, as the previous one, where every letter gets its own color, and as you can see, it's a bit time-consuming. For this video, I tried to mix up a bit with the angles I filmed, and I hope you like the variations. If you have any comments or inputs to it, please let me know in the comments below. To make drawing up this spread a bit more efficient, I wrote down with this same color across both pages, so that I was sure that every letter in every word that was going to be written got the right color according to the system I had chosen. One of the last things I did on the spread was drawing out the symbols for my personal habit tracker. For this I used a black pen so that I could easily distinguish the symbols from everything else. I also chose to do a whole black line with my Micron pen between the sections of the expenses and income, of course. I wasn't quite happy with it, and on my weekly spread, as you'll see later on, I found a solution that it was much better, and it fitted this type of coloring spread much better, I think. The next double spread was the brain dump. This was quite simple. I just wrote out the brain dump on top of the page and stuck to the same coloring sequence as I did before. The exception was that I started the first brain dump title as I did every other page, and the second title I just kept going with the colors from the first one, so I didn't start that one from scratch. Now I'm over to the weekly spread, and I used the same technique here as earlier, one-on-one color. I wanted a bit more variations, and since I only write the weekdays with 3 letters, I would never get to use every single color I've chosen if I would start every day with the same color. So instead I chose to just go along and choose the colors in sequence. And as usual, every week I set up my own to-do list. I then wrote out which week it was. I found it easier to keep track of the week numbers and everything I need to do that specific week when I can see it every day. Lastly, as you can see, I chose to use a stapled line to distinguish between my weekdays. And here it is, my spread for May. If you watched this far, I thank you so much for spending this time with me, and I really, really appreciate it. I wish you a great day with sunshine and bees humming around and everything nice. Also, if you're Norwegian and watching this on the day I post, gratulerer med dagen! Bye!